It's high noon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broncos Gaming World. Today, we're taking a look at the Manticore for the Astra Militarum. Manticore is a large artillery piece that specializes in taking on heavy infantry with its giant Storm Eagle rockets. Its model kit comes packaged with the components that make the Death Strike missile launcher. We chose to do the Manticore. We're going to take a look at my painted model and see how this thing performs on the tabletop today. Stay tuned. Alright, so here we have our built and painted Manticore. Paints I used were an undercoat of the Rust-Oleum olive green, and then I used a stippling effect with green skin from Army Painter. The missiles were painted with the Pro Acryl white gold. The nose cones on the missile were painted in Nuclear Sunrise and Ruby Red from Army Painter with their Speed Point 2.0. The little glass blob in the middle is the silver with a glaze of the Caribbean blue over the top. The Aquilas on the side are the Talos Bronze, Speed Paint 2.0. I think overall it came out looking pretty good. All the silver on this was plate mail, and the tracks were painted with the Broadsword Silver Speed Paint 2.0 as well. I think the model's really cool looking. I think that it came out pretty good and it's pretty clean. Okay, so here's the data sheet for the Manticore. Movement 10, toughness 10, that's key, that's a big deal there. Save 3 plus, 11 wounds, leadership 7, and objective control 3, which is pretty standard. That toughness 10 is kind of a big deal because most of the lighter vehicles or your artillery units like the Basilisk have only a toughness 9. The Manticore comes in with a toughness 10. I'm not sure why exactly, but it does come in at toughness 10, which is nice. Standard loadout is going to come with a heavy bolter or heavy flamer on the hull, and the Storm Eagle rockets are its main weapon because that is a giant artillery weapon with the 120-inch range. Does die 6 plus 1 attacks, ballistic skill 4, strength 10, AP minus 2, 3 damage. It is a blast weapon, so you're going to probably use it mostly against infantry units. It is heavy, so that you'll hit on 3s if you can actually see what you're shooting at. And it does have indirect, so you could end up hitting on 5s. Right? You only hit on 4s because you'll have heavy, because you're never going to move this thing. I don't see why you would ever move it unless you absolutely had to. Heavy bolter, sustain 1. Your 36-inch range, 3 attacks, 4 plus, 5, 1, 2 damage. 2 damage is always nice. And then in 10th ed, since it's free, you should throw the 100 killer missile on there because it is a finger of death weapon, which is always nice. I mean, the Manticore is straight up just brutal to infantry. Just absolutely brutal. It even makes Terminators take a second look real quick. Like, hey, what? That thing hits me with strength 10 and minus 2 AP and does 3 damage. It'll kill me if I fail? Yeah. It will kill you DED dead if it hits you and you fail your 2 plus save or you're invulnerable, whichever is better for you. Let's take a look at its abilities real quick here. Deadly Demise die 3, so it's not too bad. Apparently the missiles are pretty stable, since if it blows up, it's only going to do die 3 mortal wounds. Then it has the incredible ability of Furious Barrage. Each time this model makes an attack with its Storm Eagle rockets that target an enemy unit that contains 5 or more models, you can re-roll the roll to hit. So you're definitely going to want to shoot it at large blobs of infantry and make them absolutely freaking dead. Especially since you can re-roll the roll to hit, so it makes it, even using an indirect fire, a reasonable chance that you're going to actually hit with more shots than you miss. And anything shy of Terminator level stuff is probably going to be freaking dead. I mean, because most things aren't going to have more than 3 wounds. The minus 2 AP is going to put most things at a save of 5. If you have something on the board like Fields of Fire, you're talking about AP 3. So even Terminators are freaking scared freaking shitless of this thing. Yeah, the freaking Manticore is good, guys. It is real good. I wish it had a little bit more in the shots department, but when you're firing strength 10, AP 2, 3 damage, you know what? I'm just being greedy. at that point. You know, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Especially when you compare it against some of the other artillery pieces, like the Earthshaker cannon on the Basilisk. The Earthshaker cannon, strength 8, you know, AP -1, I believe, and does 2 damage. It's good. It's you take those mostly because you can shoot them across the earth. Not that the Storming Eagle rocket you can't, but you can shoot them across the earth. You can shoot them indirectly, and then the Earthshaker ability allows you to slow your opponent down, which is huge. So the Manticore comes in a kit packaged together with the components to build this freaking son of a bitch right here, which is the Death Strike missile. And we'll talk about him on another video here in the not too distant future. But this guy goes into the war crimes department of the Astra Militarum again. But the Manticore, guys, is way freaking good. I mean, way good. And he is. They just boosted the points on him in the most recent uh, update to from up to about 150 points a piece. So they are a little pricey, but if you're going against heavy infantry, you see a lot of Space Marine armies, you see a lot of Necrons, you see a lot of, you know, anything that's got beefy, heavy infantry. Manticore's your go-to artillery piece every single time, guys. Absolutely every time. Astra Militarum has an answer to Terminators, to heavy infantry, to Necrons. The only guys that are even going to kind of not be quite as terrified of it are the Custodes. But Astra Militarum has an answer. Astra Militarum has an answer to everything if you look hard enough. This is the answer to heavy infantry once they hit the board. Manticore, guys. Get them. Put them in your Astra Militarum army. And guys, thank you for checking out the channel here. Please consider liking and subscribing to this video and any others that you happen to see on my channel. And until next time, guys, please take care of yourselves.
Boom goes the dynamite.